السلام عليكم حبيبي 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 صادق يا صادق أخوان.
Well or what?
Let's start learning. I have to finish all of this class today. That's my target to this. I'm gonna learn how many hours. This is about 2 hours, and that is 3 hours, almost 5 hours. I have to spend 5 hours on this, and then I have to learn Korean for Squid Game. I need to get views. Yeah, I will watch Squid Game season 3. That's why I'm gonna learn. Maybe I'm gonna learn Korean. Maybe. Let's see. That's not my decision. I think I could. Let's learn first.
Fal, then chances are that Lam is the lightest gang member.
Lightest gang
It's only
member.
acting weird because there's a wa before it or a fa before it. That's when it starts acting weird, and it doesn't pronounce li, it pronounces wal or fal. You may have heard this
Wal
before.
and fal.
وعلى الله فل يتوكل المؤمنون. We're going to figure this out together.
المؤمنون.
What does fal mean?
What does fal mean?
It's two words together. What two words together? So and should. So when we finally translate, we'll throw in the word so and we'll throw in the word should when we figure out what this means. Yatawakkalu means to trust. Yatawakkalu means to trust or to rely on somebody. Okay? So, yatawakkalu, he relies. فَلْيَتَوَكَّلْ, so he should rely. Now, tell me about the word he or huwa. When you see a huwa on a fi'l, is there a chance there's an outside doer? There's a chance?
Outside.
How do you determine if there's an outside doer? It's after and it's rafa. That's an outside doer. Is al-mu'minuna after? Is al-mu'minuna rafa? Mu'minuna means believers, yes? Believers. I don't think it means then he should rely. Not they.
But
the believers should rely. And then in the beginning it says, ala Allah. Ala means upon. Ala Allahi.
Allahi.
So the believers should rely exclusively upon
Allah.
Allah. Ala Allahi falyatawakkal al-mu'minun.
Allah.
And yes, wow should be and. Good catch. And upon Allah alone should the believers rely. Again, li becomes what? Fal.
Fal.
Okay. Let me show you something really awesome. Surah Al-Fath. One of my favorite surahs in the Quran. Inna is harf of nasab and nahnu together. Certainly we.
Inna.
Huwa fataha, huma fataha, hum fatahu, hiya fatahat, huma fatahata. I'm doing this so alone. Hunna fatahna, anta fatahta, antum.
Oh, it's gross right now. It's annoying me. Because I cannot get it. What he's saying, I cannot connect all of those, studies. What he
فتحتما
taught
أنتم
us.
فتحتم أنت فتحتي أنتما فتحتما أنتن أنا
نحن
فتحت نحن نحن we opened لك. That means for. Ka, I don't know what ka means, I forgot. We opened up for you. Fathan Mubina, an open victory. Li.
Laka.
Li.
Li.
ليغفر.
It means should.
My question is this li a harf of jar? Is this li a lightest gang member? Is this li a...
So it's a light version, not lightest, light version.
Light gang member. By the way, depending on which gang, different translation, isn't it? Not all lambs have the same meaning. Okay, it's the light gang member. And the light member has what meaning? We have given you victory so that yaghfira. Not you ask for forgiveness. Yaghfiru means he forgives. So who forgives? So he forgives. Right now it says so he forgives.
forgives.
When you see he, should you try to look for an outside doer? Maybe you find one, maybe you don't, but you should at least look. Do you see one? Where? Ah, the word Allah. The word Allah. So that Allah forgives. So that Allah forgives.
Forgives.
Laka.
Laka.
Forgives for you actually means forgives you. The lam doesn't get translated now. So that Allah forgives you or covers for you. Now watch this.
Why you
Normal,
timma?
light, or lightest? Yutimma.
Normal, light, lightest.
Difference of opinion.
Normal.
Normal ending, yutimmu. Light ending, yutimma. So what is this? This is light. Okay.
Light. Okay, light. Normal, light, and lightest, bro. It grows. It grows. It's annoying.
Yahdiya.
Yeah. I mean, it's little bit, boring things, but I mean, I cannot get in my brain, but I'll understand after a few days. I mean, when I practice more and more.
Yahdiya.
Yahdiya.
Light. Okay.
Yahdiya.
Yansura.
Yansura.
Light. Okay. So we saw liyaghfira.
Yansura.
Wa yutimma. Wa yahdiya. Wa yansura. Light. What word makes these light? There's a group that makes them light. Which group was that? An, lan, likay, idan, hatta. Let's go back to liyaghfira. Which of those members made liyaghfira light? Once you have a light word, you can put the word and make the next word light, and 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 they keep going light. And you know what that tells you? That all of them have been understood so that going along with them. So that Allah forgives. I know that so that is connected to the word forgiveness. When it says yutimma and he completes his favor, it's not he completes his favor. What does it actually mean? So that he completes his favor. Why do I know it means so that? Because it's light being affected by the original li. Then it's not he guides. This is actually not he guides. This is what? So that he guides. It's still going on from the same li. And
bro,
then
what I didn't say. I mean, why it's so complicated, bro? It's too hard to understand, That affects on that side, that affects on that side. Whoa. And that's why that changes the meaning.
Says yansuru. Yansuru means he helps.
Bro,
but this is not he
going
helps.
over my
this
head. It's going over my head.
What? So that he helps. And how do I know this is not a new sentence? It's still part of that. How do I know that? Because of the yansuru.
Is the verb light or normal? Okay.
It's light. Otherwise, it would have been yansuru. Okay. So this is actually the way the Quran connects concepts together, and you can tell, oh, it's the same conversation. It's not a new discussion because the same effect is being carried forward. Okay? لِيَغْفِرَ وَيُتِمَّ وَيَهْدِيَ وَيَنْصُرَ. Okay? Really cool. Okay, now let's get back to page 39. Normal version. Say it for me. Good. Light version. Yansura.
Yansura.
Lightest version.
Lightest version, Yansur.
Good. Normal version.
Tangsur.
Light version. Tansura. Lightest version.
Tangsur.
Good. Normal version. Light version.
What is
Lightest
saying,
version.
Bro, I'm not getting it. What is the light and lightest version, bro?
You're getting used to this. Good. Normal version. Light version. Lightest version. Good. Normal version.
Nangsuro.
Light version. Lightest version. Okay.
Listen carefully.
Lightest version. Version. Good. Normal version. Light version. Lightest version.
Okay, I got it. This is normal version. Nangsuru. and light version is Nangsura, Nangsura, and lightest version is Nangsur, Nangsur.
Version. Okay.
I got it. And the a, na, ta, yeah, it's all
Alrighty.
about pronouns.
I'm still on page 39, in case you're wondering. Where am I now?
Something pop up in my forehead, bro. What is happening here, bro? You can see lots of things are white. Always pop up on my forehead, bro. Here is the main spot. Always you'll see lots of pimples like this. Pimples. Not here, but here. Every single time. I mean, every single month.
Yansurani? That's the second column on your page 39. Normal version.
Yang
Yansurani.
Surah.
Let me help
Yang
you out here.
Surani.
Light version, get rid of the noon.
Yang Sur.
Yansura.
Yang Surah.
What version is that?
Yang
Light
Surah.
version. Lightest version, Yansura. Once you got rid of the noon, it could be light and it could be lightest.
Oh man, it's going over my head.
It's okay. You can't keep killing more letters. Okay. I'll come again. Yes. So Yansurani is normal. Light version, lightest version, Yansura. Okay. No. Lightest, yeah. Let me help you again. If this was Yansuru, then light version, Yansura.
Yansura.
Lightest version,
Yangsur.
Yansur. So if it ends with an U, then the light version is A, and the lightest version is Sukun. Okay. If it ends with a combination, is this a combination?
Yes.
Ani? When it's a combination, the light version just means get rid of the what? The extra noon. Yansura. And now that you got rid of the noon, sorry, the light version and the lightest version look the same. The light version is Yansura and the lightest version is also
Same.
Yansura. Yes. Depends on what harf came before. How's the meaning going to be changed? What was making them light? What was making them lightest? That will change the meaning. Okay, so the meaning is not coming from here. The meaning's coming from, is it an Yansura? That both of them help? Or lan Yansura? Both of them will not help? Or lamma Yansura? Both of them haven't helped yet? Isn't that the meaning changing?
Bro, why is everything is now going over my head? I don't know.
But the meaning is not changing from these words. The meaning is changing from the harf. Okay, that's how the meaning changes. The problem comes with the li. It's okay. If you come up to a word and it's got a li and then it's light and you're like, which one is this, light or heavy? Just call me. Just call me. Say, I don't know what to do here. Help me out. Okay. Until that happens, live your life. Okay. Yansuruna.
Yansuru.
Normal version. Normal version is what? Yansura. That page 39 is all the normal versions. What's the light version? Yansuru. And they write an alif there at the end to make you feel better and also to remind you that this is a fi'il. This is a normal standard thing to do with fi'il. When the noon is gone, they write an alif there at the end. So that's not read Yansuruwa. It's still Yansuru. The lightest version, ladies and gentlemen, no change, Yansuru. Sorry, Yansuru. Same thing.
Yangsuru.
Only context, common sense, and lots of dua will tell if it's light or lightest. This is where your connection to God will be tested. Okay? Yeah. Question.
Assalamu alaikum again. Today, what I feel, all those years I was reading Quran wrongly.
Why do you feel that? I don't want you to feel that.
Because the lam mean one things and lam mean one things, and all those grammatically, basically, I make the mistake that is in my conscious.
Okay,
What happened that people who continuously reading wrong, because when I was studying Quran is Ali Be Te Se, so I was reading that formula had changed when I came to Dallas. But
yeah, Dallas is a holy city. You're right.
so all those days we read Quran, that mean Allah hopefully forgive us, or
Okay. Thank you for your question. I do want to keep the conversation about Arabic, but since you asked that question, I don't want anybody to live in guilt. Allah did not give us this religion to make us feel like remorse over the past. The Quran, one of the great functions of the Quran, the purpose of the Quran, Allah says, "Inna fi dhalika la dhikra liman kana lahu qalb." It is a powerful reminder for someone who has a heart. So anything related to the heart, the most comprehensive answers for how your heart should feel is in the Quran. And in the Quran, if someone has lived a life of sin, or a life of forgetfulness, or a life of mistakes, or a life of neglect, etc., does Allah say you should now feel guilty until you die for how you have lived? Does the Quran ever do that? The Quran is more protective of Allah is more protective of His creation's heart than even the creation themselves. Allah cares more about my heart than I do about my own heart. You understand that concept? So if Allah does not shame or guilt me about my past mistakes or neglect, all He asks is do one thing. What's that one thing? Make tawbah and then fix yourself. Make tawbah and fix yourself. And
Yes, I
then
have to
you
do
might
that. I have
slip
to do
again.
that.
And if you slip again, what should you do again? Make tawbah and fix yourself. And if you can do that, you don't have to live in what? Guilt or shame. You don't have to live in guilt or shame. You know? And what we've done is we've created a mindset, because, and I'll tell you where this comes from. Allah forgives easily. Allah is actually eager to forgive. But people
Make it harder.
don't forgive easily. If you hurt your mother's feelings, even if she hugs you, something is still hurting her in her heart. She's not capable of letting go of some of that pain. Yaqub alayhi salam is not capable of easily just letting go of the years of abuse his sons did to him. You understand? They can make tawbah. And by the way, who can forgive his sons immediately? Allah can wipe the slate clean. But who cannot forgive immediately? Yaqub alayhi salam. He can't do it. He can't just do it. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam in one narration couldn't look at Wahshi.
I think that's the message Allah is trying to give me, because it happens. It happens to me lots of time, but right now, yeah, I'm getting understand through this. I think I have to listen Nouman Ali Khan more and more, because you'll understand the real Islam. What is the reality of Islam? I'm not talking about which hadith is contradict each other, which hadith is false, which is correct. I'm talking about the real Quran, you know. Ya Allah, please forgive me, because I can't share with you, but sin I do every single day. Sin. Which sin? When I using social media, and sometime I watch, I mean, I see women, like you can see top of my head, there is a girl there is a woman who wears hijab. I can see her, and that kind of scene I do every single day. Everyone are doing who are really using social media. Okay, it's kind of weird, bro.
He accepted Islam. What do we know about accepting Islam? What happens to all your sins? They get wiped out. Wiped out by who? By Allah. In fact, accepting Islam is a kind of tawbah. And tawbah means all your bad deeds get converted into good deeds. That's how much Allah loves. فَأُولَٰئِكَ يُبَدِّلُ اللَّهُ سَيِّئَاتِهِمْ حَسَنَاتٍ. Allah replaces their evil deeds with good ones. That's Quran's promise. But the Prophet ﷺ is still a human being. And he sees the one who mutilated his uncle. Right? So he can't see. It's not that he doesn't forgive him, but he can't forgive him the way Allah forgives him. Now, what happens with us coming to 2024, 2023, and this era that we live in and we're heading towards, what happens now is people use Islam because we make each other feel bad anyway.
Yes.
Okay, I can make you feel bad for coming late, or I can make an employee feel bad for making a mistake, or I can make a family member feel bad, or they can make me feel bad, or you never call, you never do this, you never do that. We guilt each other all the time. But now we've done a new thing. We use Islam to guilt each other. It wasn't enough that we're guilting each other. Now we added, Allah doesn't forgive when you do this, right?
Yes.
Allah does that, right? Allah. So now we're using Allah to make sure someone stays inside their guilt. Now we use God as a weapon, basically, to guilt and shame someone. What does the Quran do? Make tawbah and move on with your life. What do people do? I will not let you move on with your life. You don't get to move on with your life. You have to stay exactly where you were. Know your place. It's as if Allah wants one istighfar, show of humility, and move on, and human beings want constant sajda. Human beings almost want, I want you to worship me to the point where you keep begging for forgiveness, and then I'm going to say, your sorry is not good enough for me. Your sorry is not. God doesn't even demand that. Can you imagine if we had to beg Allah for forgiveness for everything we've done and it wouldn't be good enough? Can you imagine? Like, then it wouldn't even be right for us to ever get up from sajda.
Yes.
Never be even to get up from it. So the guilt you're feeling is actually not just you. There's a cultural, anthropological, collective guilt society that we've created. And in that society, you're supposed to live feeling bad about yourself. You're supposed to live in shame. You're supposed to live in regret constantly. Do we regret our mistakes? Absolutely. Should we turn and try to make things right? Absolutely. Should we make istighfar? Absolutely. But then we should move on. We just move on. Musa alayhi salam's story is one of my favorites because he actually accidentally killed someone, but he did throw a punch. How do you get over that? Like, how do you get over that? And you know what? When he goes to challenge Musa, challenge Firaun, when he goes to challenge Firaun, Firaun could just turn around and say, you're going to tell me what's right and wrong? You know what you did? Who are you to open your mouth? A murderer is going to teach, a murderer is a prophet now? Really? You have no moral standing to be able to say what's right and wrong because you have a mistake in your past. Isn't that the logic?
Yes.
Guess whose logic that is? Firaun's.
Okay, then we shouldn't talk about past things about people in front of them, or if we cannot giving them realize, oh, you did these things in your past, so you are like that. We do every single moment, bro. We do as a Muslim. If you are practicing or not practicing, and practicing Muslim don't do it. If they are very good practicing Muslim, they don't do it.
It's very powerful. It works.
Yeah.
Because then someone says, look, I have mistakes. I shouldn't say anything. And then people turn that into a righteous thing. I have so many.
Bro, it's true, bro. It's a very good things I've learned, bro. I think these types of things I'm interested in, bro. I feel very good when I listen these things, like, about Quran, about how Allah thinks,
Many sins.
Even we cannot imagine what he thinks, but through his Quran we can understand about something, how Allah, loves us.
Myself, I have so many mistakes myself. Who am I to say anything about anything? I should just be quiet. And then anybody who's done any good should be quiet because they're aware of their flaws. So that nobody should speak the truth. Because is there anybody who exists that doesn't have sins? So if sins are the basis for which I shouldn't say anything or you shouldn't say anything, then we should just be perpetually silent. Yes.
When we wrong someone else, we ask Allah to forgive us and Allah forgives us. But what if, my understanding was that person has to forgive us, so we're not accountable for it, and in the
Thank
end.
you. Good question. Even though this is Arabic class, I'm going to do this really quickly. This is on express lane. Allah forgives whoever He wants.
Yes.
Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam was injured in Uhud. Listen to this carefully. Don't forget it. He was injured at what?
You know.
Uhud. He was injured in his face in 3 different places, and the arrow or the spears actually penetrated through the helmet into his jaw. Okay?
What?
Several of his teeth were gone, and he had to be patched up with mud so the bleeding would stop. When he fell to the ground, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Umar bin al-Khattab thought he was dead. He was gone. And Umar bin al-Khattab lost it. He just sat on the battlefield. According to one narration, he just sat there. What's the point now? Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam comes back to consciousness. In one narration, he gets up to consciousness and says, كَيْفَ يَهْدِ اللَّهُ قَوْمًا. How can Allah guide a people that spill the blood of their messenger? Okay? How can Allah guide a people who spill the blood of His messenger? Allah immediately revealed ayat after Uhud. One of those ayat, listen carefully. لَيْسَ لَكَ مِنَ الْأَمْرِ شَيْءٌ. You have no authority whatsoever. Talking to the Prophet ﷺ. أَوْ يَتُوبَ عَلَيْهِمْ أَوْ يُعَذِّبَهُم. Whether He wants to accept their tawbah or He wants to punish them, فَإِنَّهُمْ ظَالِمُونَ. Then they are, in fact, they have done great wrong. فَلِلَّهِ مَا فِي السَّمَاوَاتِ وَمَا فِي الْأَرْضِ. Allah owns whatever He has, whatever's in the skies, whatever's in the earth. يَغْفِرُ لِمَن يَشَاءُ. He forgives whoever He wants. يُعَذِّبُ مَن يَشَاءُ. He punishes whoever He wants. Wallahu ghafurur rahim. And Allah is extremely forgiving, loving and merciful. What have we done? I haven't forgiven you, so I know Allah won't forgive you. Because until I forgive you, I know Allah won't forgive you. Don't point at
Yes.
anybody.
But I
Please don't.
think it's not like that. My understanding is, when you ask, you did bad things with someone, and you asked for forgiveness to him. Please forgive me, I did bad thing to you. But he's saying, no, I cannot forgive you, because I can, because I have to accountable in front of Allah in Akhirah. Like, they have like these things. But if in my heart and I feel very bad for you, what I did, if I ask forgive to you, and Allah is just, so if I ask forgive to that person, then if he doesn't forgive, no problem, but Allah will forgive. That's my realization, I think, because Allah is just, because I asked for forgiveness. If he doesn't forgive me, I don't care. I'll ask several times, please forgive me. But he doesn't, then I think Allah will forgive me, because Allah will say, He asked forgiveness to you. I don't know how to say that. I need to translate it. সে তোমার কাছে ক্ষমা চেয়েছিল. He apologized to you. He forgave. He apologized to you, but you didn't. You didn't. That's the thing, What else translating? Okay. Like, that's my thing,
When you do that, what are you negating? And what do you think is going to happen on Judgment Day when nobody can speak? You're going to be like, excuse me, Allah, you're about to forgive this person, but I haven't forgiven them yet. So can you let them at least one weekend in the barbecue before?
But Allah is
Because I
just,
have an issue.
bro. He cannot do that.
You think you're going to be concerned about raising an issue about somebody else? And do you think that on Judgment Day, somebody will feel like, I don't know how he got away. I'm still mad. How can they get away? And some people live in the anxiety that someone who has done them wrong might be forgiven on Judgment Day because they've changed. They have this anxiety. This person changed, but I didn't forgive them. So why is Allah? It's not fair. Allah's going to forgive them. They got away with it. That, even to the Prophet of Allah, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Allah told the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, "You're a slave. Act like it. Be a slave. Forgiveness and punishment is not yours. It's whose? It's Allah's. Stop thinking you have a say in it for anyone else. Let it go, because that's part of being a what? Being a slave. Their matter is with who? فَأَمْرُهُ إِلَى اللَّهِ. His matter is with Allah. It's not your problem. Because you yourself and I myself are slaves of Allah, and so are they. If they've done wrong to me, firstly, if they've done wrong to me, they've first done wrong to Allah, because Allah told them not to do wrong to me. So they haven't, before someone commits a crime against me, they've already committed a crime against Allah, and Allah is way more offended than I am. And Allah is way more just than I am. So instead of me thinking I'm going to teach Allah how justice is going to work on Judgment Day, which, by the way, Allah asked this question in the Quran, قُلْ أَتُعَلِّمُونَ اللَّهَ بِدِينِكُمْ. Tell them, are you going to teach Allah your religion? You want to teach Allah how justice should work? This like anxiety of making sure someone pays takes us so far, we start questioning the wisdom and the justice of Allah, and we stop forgetting that we're slaves of Allah, honestly. Honestly, it's scary to me. To me, it can be rooted in pain. I get it. You were wronged. I was wronged. It's rooted in pain. But you cannot allow that pain to turn you into a pharaoh. You cannot allow that pain to project some kind of authority on Judgment Day. That is too far. Don't do it to yourself. That'll destroy you spiritually. It'll just destroy you. Whether Allah forgives them or not, Allah knows their deal better than you and me. I know one thing, Allah will never be unfair to me. Allah even says, يَشْفِي صُدُورَ قَوْمٍ مُؤْمِنِينَ. Allah will heal the hearts of a believing people. Is that enough for me to hear? Allah will heal the hearts? Yeah. You're like, I don't want my heart healed. I like this pain. And I enjoy this. No, some people do. They do. They're addicted to the pain. And they're like, I want to feel the sensation of getting revenge. I'm waiting for that high. I need it. Guess who needs to see someone else suffer? Who has that need? Who's the first one who needs to see someone suffer? Iblis. Where do you think that need comes from to see someone suffer? You know, Shaitan has caused so much more suffering than any one of us could. A human being can only do so much wrong. Shaitan has been doing wrong since age old, right? So my desire to see Shaitan suffer should be stronger than my desire to see anyone else suffer. But I never make dua, Ya Allah, throw him in Jahannam, do this to him. I just say, Ya Allah, protect me from his evil. That's it. That's all I say. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Why? Because who's going to deal with him? That's Allah. I'm not going to stand over Jahannam and say, Ya Allah, burn him good. Yeah, right there. Yeah, that spot. That he cried extra on that spot. Where did you get this from? This insatiable thirst for revenge and exacting pain on someone else. You know, justice is, we should want justice. It's a human nature to want justice. But you just have to rely on, first of all, if there's worldly means to seek justice, do it. And if there's no worldly means to seek justice, then amruhu ilallah. Allah is more just than I can ever be. No, I'm not discussing this. I'm teaching Arabic class. I still remember it's an Arabic class. And now you forgot everything about Arabic class, so I'm going to see if you remember. What's the light version of yansuruna? Yansuru. And what's the lightest version of yansuruna? Here's the crazy part. Yansurna is those women, if you remember. Ya beginning and na ending means those women. What part of this makes them women? The na. So when you make them light, the ladies say, no, we don't need a diet plan. We're perfectly fine the way we are. And what's the lightest version? It's still the same way as it is. The ladies, when they get together, weird stuff happens in Arabic grammar. So everything else has a normal version, a light version, a lightest version. But them ladies have, their normal looks the same as light, which looks the same as lightest. They look exactly the same. No change. No change. Yansurna. So if you see an before yansurna, it's going to be an yansurna. If you see lam, lightest harf, before yansurna, it's still going to be what? Lam yansurna. All good. No change. With this in mind, before the break for the prayer, I want you to look at this chart all together. This is the whole view. Yansuru, light version.
Okay,
Tell me.
that discussion, was good, but right now I distracted. Okay, no problem. Take a breath. Give focus. Yalla, give me focus. Yalla, forgive me. Yalla, give me focus. Ya Ghafur, forgive me. Okay.
Yansura, lightest version.
Yansura lightest version.
Yansur, good. That's one. Yansurani, light version. Yansura, lightest version. Yansura also. Yansuruna, light version. Good. Yansuru, lightest
Bro, it's light is normal, light is
version. Yansuru, good. The light and the
Yangsuru. I'm not familiar with Engsuru, Tangsuru. It's all like same, bro,
lightest are the same. Second row, Tansuru.
Tangsuru.
3 versions now.
I have to practice a lot. I have to practice Arabic a lot.
Tansuru is normal. What's the light version? Tansura, lightest version. Tansur. Tansurani,
Tangsurani.
light version. Tansura, lightest version. Careful now. Yansurna, don't mess with them ladies. So what happens? Light version, Yansurna, lightest version, Yansurna. Good job. Tansuru, normal version is Tansuru, light version, Tansura, lightest version, Tansur, Tansurani. Light and lightest, what are they? Tansura, Tansura. Tansuruna, light and lightest.
What? I'm not getting it in my head because Astaghfirullah.
Tansuru. Tansurina. That's just one girl. Is that enough for them rallying and not letting the noon go? It's not enough. So what's the light version? Tansuri, and the lightest version is also Tansuri. Just get rid of the noon. Tansurani, light version. Lightest version. Tansurna, light version. Tansurna, lightest version. So I want you to put a little X in
Bro,
Yansurna
I'm now
and
getting
Tansurna, so
bored, bro. I'm getting bored, bro. Ooh, because I can't get what he's saying. Tangsur, bro. It happens. It happens. Why I cannot get it, bro? Let's focus.
don't forget that. They don't get changed. And then the last two, Ansuru, light version. Ansura, lightest version. Ansur, Nansuru, light version. Nansura, lightest version. Nansur.
Nansur.
Okay. Let's see. Okay, let me go back up. Let me give you this practice a little bit.
Okay, I need to search something. Yeah. It's okay. But it's kind of getting access, bro, because I turned on this pause for 5 minutes. Bro, sometimes I got distracted, Here is the Air Force. Buffer. Forecast. CSTI. Airman. He is the hero, bro. Mutiur Rahman. apply for officer. Okay, the age will be age limit 22 years for candidates of regular course, short course. The age will be for direct entry course candidate. Okay, but how many years old I'm right now in my certificate? Is calculator. 2005, 29, and May. Calculated. It's 20 years old, so I have one more year. Age limit. Next year I will be 21. $64. Okay. Why I'm seeing this? Why am I seeing this? What is the air, man? Yeah, forget about this, bro. Learn Arabic. You don't have time.
This is page what again? Let me see. This would be 41, I believe. Yeah, 41 on top. It says tadhakkaruna, right? Ta beginning, una ending. My question is this normal, light, or lightest? This is lightly normal. Huh? Normal. Can you convert it to a light version? Tadhakkaru. What's the lightest version? And why would it be light? What could possibly make it light?
تذكر.
Either what's in the beginning to make it light? An, lan, likay, idhan, hatta. What would make it lightest? In, lam, lamma, li. Okay. Let's see if you can solve this ayah.
إن ينصركم الله.
In, I don't know if I should say yansuru, yansura, or yansur. This is in Ali Imran. Huh? Good. In yansur. Does you remembers what is means is? What does in mean? In is is. In is if?
If.
Okay.
In
In
means
yansur. If he helps. If he helps who?
Lightest.
If he helps y'all, because it's he, is it possible we have an outside doer? Who's the outside doer this time? How do you translate this? If Allah helps you all, فَلَا غَالِبَ لَكُمْ, then there is no one to help. There's no one to dominate you. No one could possibly dominate you. إِن يَنصُركُمُ اللَّهُ فَلَا غَالِبَ لَكُمْ وَإِن يَخْذُلْكُمْ, and if he were to abandon you, and if he were to leave you behind, and if he were to humiliate you, فَمَنْ ذَا الَّذِي يَنصُرُكُم مِّن بَعْدِهِ, then who's going to be aiding you after him? وَعَلَى اللَّهِ فَلْيَتَوَكَّلِ الْمُؤْمِنُونَ. Fal, what does fal mean? So and should together. Okay. Couple of minutes left before we take our break. Name a surah. Short surah that you might know. Don't say Baqarah. Huh? Teen? Okay. Teen. I'll start with where the present tense is because we just practiced the present tense.
والتين والزيتون
There it is.
فما يكذب يكذب. It's a normal, not light. It's a light.
يكذبك. What should I get rid of first? What's left?
Ka.
Good. Maybe there's an outside doer.
Ba'adu bil.
Oh no, there's not an outside doer.
There is no.
You can't handle
doer.
this yet. I shouldn't have given you this. This is.
Yes.
There's no outside doer. But why? Ba'du looks rafa. It's not. It's a fake rafa. There's such a thing as a fake rafa. You'll learn about that later.
Hmm?
It happens rarely. It just you happen to find the surah. You picked the surah. It's your fault. فَمَا يُكَذِّبُكَ بَعْدُ بِالدِّينِ. Well, let me just go back to the beginning. It's easier. What dini? Do you know anything about wow? No, the other one. Ba, ta, kaf, lam.
Ala.
What does wow do?
Hatta ila.
What does it do to the next word? Did it jarrafy over here? Was zaytuni?
I don't know why I can't remember all of this. Listen, okay, all of these things, bro. I have to.
Turi. Turi is light. Turi is
Light.
And sinina is a non-Arab word. Sinina is a non-Arab word,
Sinina is
which is a
now-
mudaf ilayh. The mountain of Sinin. Non-Arab words, the Rafa version is U, the Nasab version is and the Jar version is also that's why it's Sinina, because it's
Sinina.
non-Arab. Yeah. Yeah, they mean and. So what it means is, I swear by the fig and the olive and Mount Sinai. I swear by. And then the others are included in the oath. So it's as if he's saying, I swear by the oath, I swear by the fig, and I swear by the olive, and I swear by Mount Sinai, and I swear by, what's هذا البلد? Do you know this grammar? هذا البلد? What kind of word is هذا? It's a pointer, isn't it? And how do you know if it's making a fragment? How do you know if it has a musharun ilay? What do you look for? Is there al-balad have an al? Totally. And what's the status of al-baladi? Why is it jar? No, hada is not a mudaf. You know where this jar comes from? Wa makes at-tini jar. I swear by the fig. And the olive is also jar because it's connected to the first one. And Mount Sinai is connected to the first one. And this, the word this is jar. When the word this is jar, the musharun ilay also becomes jar. So, and I swear by this city. Al-Amini is also jar, isn't it? What's the
Everything is
relationship
going
between
over my head,
Al-Baladi
bro.
and Al-Amini? Mawsuf and
Al-Amini.
same four properties. Al-Baladi, Al-Amini.
I have to.
4 oaths that
I
Allah
have
has
to
taken.
watch those things again, bro.
And these are some of the most powerful oaths
I
in the
need to clear
Quran. If you've heard me talk about them before, one of the
clarification.
most fascinating places in the Quran. Allah swears by the fig and the olive and Mount Sinai in this city. It looks like he swore about 2 foods and 2 locations. Fig and olive are foods, and then Mount Sinai and this city are locations. Mount Sinai, of course, referring to the place where the Torah was revealed, and this city referring to Makkah where the Quran was revealed. Right? But the fig and the olive, Imam Alusi does a really good job with this, describing that the fig is actually referring to the valley of Hamdan and Halwan, where the Ark of Noah landed. And that valley was filled with figs. And so in Arabic literature, when something has a lot of something, it just gets called that. I came from the fig means I came from the valley of figs. Okay? So it's actually also referring to a location by way of what it's associated with. A zaytun is olive. And if you know anything about biblical literature, Jesus spoke on the Mount of Olives or Mount Olive. Okay, so this is referring to Jerusalem. Okay, so the Ark of Noah, Jerusalem, Mount Sinai, and Makkah. Okay, now there are 5 messengers who had more commitment than anyone else, according to Allah. They had the greatest commitment. That was Nuh alayhi salam, Ibrahim alayhi salam, Musa alayhi salam, Isa alayhi salam, and Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. In a teen, we get Nuh. In a Zaytun, we get Isa. In Turi Sinin, who do we get? Musa. And in this city, we get both Ibrahim and Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So in these five, we get a reference to all five prophets. And Allah is swearing by these places because you know what trigger memory is? When you walk by a place, you remember what happened there. By referring to a place, He's not just referring to those prophets, but He's referring to their entire story. And their story is not just about them, it's about the people who about themselves, about the people who believed in them and struggled alongside them, and it's also about the people who opposed them. That entire story can be captured by just one word, which is Atin, and another one, Azaytun, and then Mount Sinai is where he receives the revelation, challenges the Pharaoh, comes back and deals with the hypocrisy of the Israelites. Allow me to finish my thought, but it'll break. And then this city, which is the struggles of Ibrahim alayhi salam, the trials of Ibrahim alayhi salam, and then the advent of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and his struggle with the Quraysh and the Kuffar and all of it. And then Allah says, now that I have called upon in your mind, I've sworn by these places and these stories, these entire legacies, the point of bringing that to your attention, because the oath brings something to your attention, so you're ready for what He's about to say. He says He created the human being in the best possible form. And these stories have evidence to what that is. These prophets themselves are evidence of how great human beings can be. Their followers are evidence to how great human beings can be. Their good legacy, the good people who followed them, are evidence to how great human beings can be. But it's not just those who followed them, it's also those who opposed them. And those who violated their legacy down the road, changed their religion and resorted to hypocrisy and made a mockery of the deen and all of that, right? So He says, ثُمَّ رَدَدْنَاهُ أَسْفَلَ سَافِلِينَ. Then we reduced them to the lowest of the low. We radadna, by the way, radadna like nasarna. Radadna, who we reduced him. We reduced him. Asfala safilin is mudaf ilayh, the lowest of the low. Right? So this is actually just in a few oaths, He captures some of the most remarkable episodes in human history and then summarizes these episodes prove human beings can be the best of the best, and it also proves they can be the worst of the worst. One ayah about the best of the best and one ayah about the worst of the worst. But the question is, who's the majority? Is the best of the best the majority or the worst of the worst the majority? So you would think logically, after mentioning this, the worst of the worst should be first because they come in larger number, and the best of the best should be second. And the worst of the worst kind of make the angel's point true. The angel said, you're going to put someone on the earth who's going to spill blood? Who's going to kill? Didn't they say that? And the majority has proven the angels right on many accounts. And Allah says, I know something you don't know. Inni a'lamu ma la ta'lamun. And what Allah says He knows that they don't know is a reference to the few who believed and did good. The few who believed and did good is enough justification for Allah to keep the world going. Our existence is justified in these ayat by good people, by the prophets and their true followers. May Allah make us of them. Because if it wasn't for them, then everything the angel said is 100% true. Are you going to put someone here who spills blood, causes corruption? Is that true? Yeah. Then why create him? They said, why create him? Allah says, no, but there's something that's so much more powerful than all that corruption. And what is that? The few who believe. And you know what? Muslims don't understand that. You know what they think? Why aren't we in the majority? When is Islam going to win? When's everybody going to become Muslim? Hold on. Allah didn't concern Himself with quantity. What did He concern Himself with?
Quality.
This entire story of humanity was about quality over quantity. This is what it was. The entire philosophy of Islam is in short surahs. Subhanallah. Okay, adhan's been given. Let's go take a break. Assalamu alaikum. Bismillah wa salatu wa salamu ala rasulillah wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. We have only 1 hour and we have an hour and a half's worth of work. So I'm going to try to do as much as I can, inshallah, today because I don't want to put too much pressure on tomorrow. I want to actually hopefully finish, if not all of the grammar work, the vast majority of it today. And then inshallah, tomorrow we do our review and future steps and the plan and how you're going to move forward, inshallah. I'll lay that out for you so that you have clarity of what you're doing after. So what I want you to note is some pages, page 45, and then followed by page 47. 45 and 47 are really important because they are good practice with the answers on light and lightest. Okay, they're light and lightest. So here, like for example, on 45, the first example is an yadriba. You see that? An yadriba.
Yadriba. An
So an
yadriba.
makes it light. That's why it's not yadribu, it's yadriba. And an means that or to. So if you look at the translation, Allah is not timid to present any example. An yadriba, to present. In Allah, certainly Allah, ya'muru, He commands. Ya'muru, He commands. Kum, all of you. An, what does an mean? To or that. Now look, tadhbahu, this word, tadhbahu, if you focus on it, it's a ta beginning, and I'm going to say it's a ta beginning and an una ending. It's a ta beginning and una ending. And why isn't it the una anymore? What happened to the noon?
Because an.
It got lightened because of the an. So it still means the same thing. Ta una means all.
It's hard, bro. It's hard to understand.
All of you. It still means all of you.
Complicated.
It's just a light version of all of you. So Allah commands you that all of you slaughter. All of you slaughter. And what should you slaughter? A cow. Baqarah. Okay? The only way you knew that the noon is gone is because the alif is there trying to tell you, yes. The an was the
Baqarah.
first giveaway. I should look for something light. Right? And then the u, you know, oh, u is the light version of una. So those two things just came together and you're like, oh, okay, problem solved. Okay? Huh? How do you know it's they and not you? Okay, good. Ya beginning and una ending means they. 4 kinds of ya yesterday, right? And ta beginning and una ending means all of you. So if this was yadhbahu, that would have been that they slaughter. But if it's tadhbahu, it's that you all slaughter. You with me?
Tasbahu. Yeah.
Don't worry about those. You follow my 12 shortcuts. I know the chart says tansurani, but it's not a big deal right now at all. It'll get solved in time. Lan nushrika. What did lan mean? Do you remember lan? Huh?
Yes, lan
Will
means
not.
lan means will not. Yeah.
Will not. This reminds me of a story, but I don't have time. Okay, I'm gonna tell you the story anyway. So when I used to run the campus full time, the first campus we had was in Irving. It was an office building, and students were coming in full time. I was torturing them with Arabic 6 hours a day, 6 days a week for 10 months. So it was about almost
For 10 months.
a bachelor's degree worth of Arabic in 10 months, and it was painful. And the first year I started the program, I was the teacher. I was the one checking the homeworks. I was the one making the exams. I was the one counseling students for their depression. Because I feel like I get it, but I don't really get it. I don't know what to do. That's never a brother, by the way. Because the brother, you know what? Even if you don't get it, what do you say? I know I got a 20 on the test, but I get it. And the sister, she gets 100 on the test. I know I got 100, but I feel like I don't get it. Can you pass on some of your germs this way and use some of your relaxation? You could get a 20 and say, I know it looks bad, but I totally get it. I so get it. Two different. لَيْسَ الذَّكَرُ كَالْأُنثَى. Allah says the male is not like the female. I saw that when I was teaching. 100%. Anyway, one of the modules in the program, it would take me about 6 months to teach, or 5 months to teach all of the grammar and Quranic Arabic. Then it was time to speak Arabic. And there was no English allowed on campus the last 4 months. Everybody's just speaking Arabic, and you're just in an Arabic-only environment. And in the beginning, of course, there's going to be mess ups. So in one of the breaks, I had a pool table, so the students would play pool. And one of the breaks, I was playing pool by myself, or there was a student playing pool by themselves. I walked by, and he wanted to say, would you like to participate with me? Would you like to play along with me? And the way you say that in Arabic is, هَلَّكَ أَن تُشَارِكَ مَعِي. Tusharika. Musharaka means participation. So هَلَّكَ أَن تُشَارِكَ مَعِي means, would you like to participate with me? So he thought he was saying it correctly. He said, Ya Ustad, هَلَّكَ أَن تُشْرِكَ مَعِي? Would you like to do shirk with me? So I said, Abadan, la, no, never, la urid. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah. He goes, come on, Ustad, just 5 minutes. Anyway, What does len mean? Will not. Nushrika, who will not do shirk? Noon beginning, right? We will not do shirk. Nushriku, normal. Len made it light. Okay, can you guess what it's going to be if I say we did not do shirk? We did not do shirk. Do you remember the word for did not? Okay, fine. You remember
Well,
the
it's a len. Len. Sorry, not len. Len. What is it did not means? I forgot, bro. Oh, lam. Not len. Lam.
word, but do you remember its effect? What does it do? Does it lighten the word or does it make it lightest? So, lam nushrik. Lam nushrik. Lan nushrika. Okay. We did kay nusabbihaka already. Liyakuna. Liyakuna. What do you think the li
Liyakuna.
does? And there's two kinds of li. The lightest li or the light li. I need to know which one this is. This is the light li. And what does the light li mean? So that. The lightest one means should. So we shouldn't translate this as should. Yakun means becomes. He becomes. What is liyakuna? So that he becomes. So that he becomes.
So that he becomes.
حتى يقول الرسول. What does hatta mean? Does anybody remember? Okay, what happened to يقول that shows that hatta had an effect? It was going to be يقول. It
Hatta means
became
until.
يقول. Now يقول means he says. What does حتى يقول mean? Until he says. Now the word he, maybe there's an outside doer. Is الرسول after and rafa?
Rasul
Which means
says.
no longer will be used he, we'll use al-Rasul. How do you translate this entire phrase? Until the messenger says, وَالَّذِينَ آمَنُوا مَعَهُ مَتَى نَصْرُ اللَّهِ أَلَا إِنَّ نَصْرَ اللَّهِ قَرِيبٌ. Okay, this is a hard one. لا تنكحوا, do not marry. We haven't done forbidding yet. We'll do that now. Al-mushrikati, don't marry mushrik women. Don't marry idolatrous women. Al-mushrikatu, al-mushrikati, al-mushrikati. Okay, the al makes the tanween go away, right? So don't marry mushrik women. Hatta, what does hatta mean? Okay, now
Until.
this is, look at the screen
Yu'min.
and let me just show you what happened. Yu'minu, he believes. Yu'minu, okay? Huma would be yu'minani, both of them.
Yu'minu.
Ya beginning, ani ending. Yu'minuna would be what? They believe. They believe. But if I say yu'min na,
Na.
ya beginning, na ending, what would that mean?
Ooh, this thing is complicated, bro. I can't remember these things because it's so complicated. Because I used to read Quran, that's why it can. I can remember those things. That's the problem is here. So I have to use to it every single day. The sound, because Quran made it messed up. I mean, I'm saying because because we are familiar with Quran, not understanding, just reading the Quran. That's why we don't focus on to remember those things. What does it mean? We just read Quran in a flow. That made us,
Them ladies, those women, okay? And the way to write that, because there's two noons, is yu'minna, like that. Because the two noons smushed together just becomes one. It's easier to write that way. So you see that here. And who is those women that he's talking about? The mushrikat. So don't marry the mushrikat until what happens? Until they believe. Until they believe. Now, yu'minna, the normal version is yu'minna. The light version is also yu'minna. And the lightest version is also yu'minna. That's why it stayed the way it is.
oh man.
Okay? Yansurna, yansurna, yansurna,
lightest,
like that.
normal,
Okay?
lightest.
Okay, so this is a little bit of light practice. And then the lightest practice on 47. Again, the answers are here this time. In tadarhum. In tadarhum.
Intazar.
What effect did in have? Where's the lightest? Where do you see the evidence of the work of in? The sukoon on tadar. The normal would have been what?
Tazar.
Tadaru. The light
Lightest.
would have been tadara. And the lightest is Tadhar. You see the effect? Now, what is
Tazara.
hum doing there? What do you do when
Tazaru.
you find a pronoun like that?
Tazar.
You ignore it. The ta beginning, what did you learn about the ta beginning? I'm going to say 7-Eleven. I hope something comes in your head when I say 7-Eleven. Other than, it could be you, it could be she. That is determined by what? How do you know?
Context.
Okay, so I'm going to look, even without knowing too much Arabic, I'm going to look for a little bit of context. Yudillu ibada.
Ka.
Maybe the context is telling me that the ta is similar to the ka, which means this is what?
You.
Is it ka means she or ka means you?
You.
So that ta still probably means
That
what?
is he version.
You. If so, yadharu means to
when.
leave. In tadhar,
In
in
Tazar.
tadhar, if you leave them, yudillu ibadaka, they will misguide your slaves. Meaning if you let them live. Nuh alayhi salam said, if you let these people live, they will misguide your slaves. The thing is, he said that, and then Allah included his son among those people. But he already said, if you leave them, he'll misguide your slaves. So, and he didn't realize that his son would be included in that. Then it hit him, but he was drowning. It's a very powerful story. Lam tajidu katiban. Wajada. So yajidu means he finds. Yes.
Tajidu. Yes.
Okay, yeah, I can explain that. Go to page 39 again. I can
means
explain that
did
again.
not.
I'll repeat the
Lam
question
means
for you
did
guys watching
not.
online. The question is on why is it
Did
yansurna
not.
and tansurna are the same? Well, the simple answer to that is because the Arab said so, but I just want to show you why else. This is yansurna, means those women help.
Oh.
The part that gives it the meaning of women is na. They call it noon and niswa, the noon of women. Like nisa means women, right? So the noon
Yes.
represents women. If you get rid of that, this word won't have to do with women anymore. So you can't actually get rid of it because it changes the pronoun itself. So if you just imagine if you got rid of the noon, what would you have left? Which is the same as he. So the those women is gone altogether. The only thing making this word those women is the noon. So that's why it's not something you can compromise. Got it? And the other reason is because the Arab said so. Okay, I try to justify their behavior with these long-winded explanations, but the real reason is it's our language. What you gonna do? What you are going to do?
What you're going to do? Making present
now,
tense.
if you go to page
present tense.
48, this is our practice
present
page.
tense,
And I want to do
tense.
10 minutes of this practice before I give you your last lessons. Lam yaj'al. What do you think? Light or lightest?
Lightest.
Good. Why?
Because lam
What does lam mean?
did not.
Did not. You know what you could do for easy answers? You could put L for light and L plus for lightest. Okay? L for light and what? L plus for lightest. Yeah? So lam yaj'al. Yaj'al means he made or he makes. Sorry, he makes. What does lam yaj'al mean? He did not. He didn't make. He did not make. Lam yaj'al. Lina'lama. Is this an L or an L plus?
It's an what would be L light version, because lama here is a ma sound. If it would be lightest, then it will lima lina lam lina lam.
Is light. Na'lama means to he knows.
Li means so not yet. Li means here is not yet. Sorry, so that, and other li means should, but here is so that we na'lam.
Knows.
So that so that we know.
He knows. Who knows here?
We know.
So translate the whole thing.
We know.
So that we know.
So that we know.
Li means so that. Li kay or li kay means so that. So that.
What's the crazy thing is here is sound. What is present tense, what is past tense, what is future tense. I mean, the word suddenly change. Like normal version, it will be like let me say na'lamu. na'lamu, and light version na'lama, and lightest version na'lam. Like word changes. Word changes in Arabic. That's complicated thing to learn. Change the sound. Okay. Change.
We
It's
know.
totally
Very good.
changed the sound.
Okay, now if you've answered out loud, don't answer the next one out loud, so you give other people a chance.
It totally changes
تحسبوهم.
la.
تحسبوهم. First, my
تحسبهم.
first question is normal, light, or lightest?
That's the lightest.
تحسبوهم.
But there is no lightest.
First of all, even before then, there was a question you should have asked yourself. Is there... That's not the question. Is there an
Lightest version.
attached pronoun?
Yes,
Is
whom?
there?
Oh, then tahsabu. It's a normal, bro. It's normal.
So we're going to pretend what is not there. If it's not there, what do we have left?
تحسب.
تحسبوا. Okay, is تحسبوا normal, light, or lightest?
Normal.
Normal. If it was light, it would have been...
You can see that. I can get it right now. Before it was like very complicated for me. What is normal? What is light? What is lightest? So you have to get through. You have to go through that things and you learn it easily. Just stick on it and try to understand those things.
And if it was L plus, lightest, what would it be? تحسب. So yes, it's normal.
It's normal.
وَلْيَتَلَطَّفْ وَلَا يُشْعِرَنَّ بِكُمْ أَحَدًا. Surah Al-Kahf. وَلْيَتَلَطَّفْ. يَتَلَطَّفْ means be careful, be delicate, be subtle.
Wal yatalaf tof. Then
Be
it's
inconspicuous.
wow. There's no wow sound. Okay, in lightest version. No, there is no wow sound here. If I lay, okay, no.
وَلْيَتَلَطَّفْ.
Is that normal?
What
I
is
don't know.
this?
Is it lightest?
Is it L or L plus? Li has three versions. Li, Kay, or Likay.
Li has 3 versions. Okay. I forgot the 3 version. But there is no version here.
Which means so that. What was the lightest group of harf? In, lam, lamma, and li.
Li.
In, lam, lamma, li. And the thing with li was, if it comes with wa or fa, it doesn't. You don't say wali. You say what? Wal, and that gives away that it's from the lightest group.
Oh man, it's crazy. How? Oh my Allah. Allah is the holy, bro. Oh man, Li has a lots of form. Okay.
If you see wali,
I'm low. I'm right now bored, but I have to learn. I have to stick on it.
if you saw wali, that would be from the light group. If you see wal, it's from the lightest group. So what should happen to the last letter here? Wal yatalattaf. So what does this mean? Who should be careful? He should be careful because, by the way, and he should be careful. And he should be careful. Where am I getting the and from? The wa. Where am I getting the should from? The lam, wal.
Li.
Okay. And where am I getting the he from? And he should be careful. See, you're starting to decode Arabic. You're starting to see the pieces. Yeah.
Yes.
And
That's the most
yasha.
important thing. You have to see, I mean, you have to decode what is the subject, object, what is the word, what is the, you have to decode all of these things, you have to separate all of this. I mean, you have to see that part by part.
Allahu, normal, light, or lightest? Good. Based on what?
In means if. Oh, okay. An means what? 2. An yasha Allahu.
First of all, and what job did the do here?
2.
Had it been normal, it would have been yasha'u. It's light, so it becomes yasha'a. Okay? You guys understand?
Normal will be yasha'u, but it makes it yasha.
What to do with this page? Okay, so now I'm going to change the subject a little bit, and I'm going to talk to you about common sense observations about commanding and forbidding. This is the last bit of grammar that
I'm gonna sleep, bro. I am very sleepy right now. Goodbye, Marcel.